There we go.
Here we have Ralph Halpern, who is the SSC Energy Group Leader, and he'll be sharing with us about the work they've done in 2002 and what they plan to do in 2003. Thanks, Ralph.
Okay, I'm just trying to adjust the view, but looks like, okay. All right, so I'm here to speak about our energy interest group. There are a few of us here tonight, Paul Lowenstein and Catherine Goyette and myself. The others you see have helped out. They've either been in meetings or helping with content. What our goal is to help the town reach our net zero emissions goals. That is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and increase the use of renewables. I'm going to talk about 3 domains: residents and homeowners as one, vendors and partners as another, and then looking at the town administration and committees and all the other citizen groups. Spend a couple of minutes on each. We would see residents really as the key here, that what do we do to help the residents and homeowners and small businesses of the town to take action, to educate them, motivate them, and enable them to take action. So we start with topics, and then we'll talk about how we disseminate this information. The key is really to establish the need for change, make sure people understand what a large role buildings and vehicles play in emitting carbon into the atmosphere. What are the benefits, not only in terms of energy, but also in reducing our own costs? What are the steps we need to take? So looking from assessment to implementation, what are some key questions and considerations, rebates? There's a lot of things we could talk about here. Neighborly advice, just what are some of us doing? We heard Paul Lowenstein at our December meeting talk about a big project that he's done in his daughter's home. Great story. It's posted on the website as a blog. So, you know, we have a lot to tell. Others of us have solar, maybe induction cooking, things that we can tell and share. Information resources will never be the end of knowledge. That is, there's so much out there, and there's so many good organizations and websites. So we would establish a lot of links from the website, for instance, but just let people know, if you have questions, here are a few places that really do a good job of giving content, answering questions, and helping people out. And then specifically local options, what are the programs that are available to Sharon residents, whether it's referrals to vendors and contractors or other local programs. Looking ahead for 2023, we just can continue to add topics and content. Dissemination, well, we're starting with our website because that's a nice home for a lot of this content. And it also forces us to say, well, what are the messages that we're trying to deliver? So we have a lot of work going on in progress. We're working with the webmaster that SSC uses, and she's putting up content as we develop it in the areas of the resources and also under initiatives. And you can just be looking at the website and see things as they come, but it's not done yet. Besides the resources and initiative sections, we have a blog, we have related stories. Those are sections on the website. Videos, we do have an SSC YouTube page. We can be using that. So there's a lot of ways to get things out. Beyond our own website, we've been talking about what else can we do to reach the community in 2023. One idea is to have a program, a special program. It could be on Zoom only, or it could be a hybrid with a live, and people could also join in via Zoom. It would be open to the community. The presenters would be SSC members, perhaps others who have something they want to share. Ideally, we would archive this and then have it available after the fact on our website and on YouTube. Besides a single program, we could also just have several of us do short recorded presentations, 10 minutes about my experience with home assessment or heat pumps, whatever it might be. And we would record those like we're doing right now and have them archived and posted. And further outreach through our Facebook groups, other community groups, and so on. Sharon Green Day, we're just starting to plan, and I know we're going to talk about that at the meeting today, but having QR code just with links to the website, handouts, maybe some presentations. Vendors and partners, where do we direct residents who are looking for help? We right now have agreements for a home energy assessment with Homeworks, for our community solar slots through Relay Power, and a couple of solar companies, NEC Solar, Sunbug Solar. Those are agreements where if people link to them from our website or otherwise come to them and they say, I learned about you through Sustainable Sharon, then those groups, those companies have agreed to give us a small donation. So in 2023, we can consider additional agreements, companies that some of you might want to recommend that we can approach and say, you know, if they feel, if we feel they're qualified and recommended, then we would be willing to include them in our listings. And joint marketing opportunities with those companies as well, like inviting some of them to Green Day. Otherwise, the Energy Advisory Committee, which is part of the town structure, has programs. They have a good website. And Sharon Power Choice is the community aggregation program, electricity aggregation that we most of us should be in. The Energy Advisory Committee has a net zero campaign with a link to a survey, and Mass Save Community First Partnership is also available through the EAC website, but they do assessments. Well, they'll help people get started with assessments, but Mass Save set it up in large part to really help people who need a little more help, whether it's because of income issues, non-English speaking, small businesses. So there's special, and there is a staff person, Julie Barbara Issa, who has spoken to us in the past, and she's very hands-on with their users. As far as the town goes, a couple of big things. One is that in the summer, the select board approved an idea that was brought to them by the Energy Advisory Committee to write a Sharon Energy Climate Action Plan. And a lot of towns have plans like this. It makes a lot of sense because Sharon has a goal that by 2050, we should be net zero greenhouse gas emissions. And this would be something that would say, here's what our status is now, here's what our goals are, and here's the action steps, a timeline. These documents tend to be pretty elaborate, 100 pages or more. So we'd like to work on that. Sharon Power Choice is going to have to look at its arrangements because next January, the agreement that we now have will be ending. So there'll be new rate structure. We'd like to be a part of those discussions. We'll also be monitoring a proposal by Eversource to build a pipeline. We really, they're running into a lot of flack on similar pipeline projects. We don't know really that there's a need for it. Eversource and the other utilities are trying to keep their current infrastructure. With $90 billion, you could do a lot of electrification and pretty advanced progressive things, and instead they want to build a pipeline. We'll hold off judgment till they come to Sharon and give us presentations, but we want to be prepared for that. Oops. Okay, finally, opportunities for any of you to participate. Share your own stories and advice. To contribute content, if there's something you would like to write up, that'd be great. And we can talk about what we would like to add, whether it's electric vehicles or other energy issues. Recommending vendors, as we talked about, for SSC referrals. Helping to monitor local developments like what the Energy Advisory Committee is doing or this Eversource project, helping to disseminate information to other community groups if you're a member, and finally helping with social media, just posting news and information as it comes out. And I put my own email address here, so feel free to get in touch.
Ralph, that was fantastic. Thank you. It was good advice for a lot of us in this group. So thank you for that and for all your work during the year. And we look forward, and the rest of the group. I know we have group members here too. So thank you all for that.